Hey guys, you're watching Daniel and Gian Review, and today we're going to do a full review of the Salman Khan feature film Bajrangi Bhaijaan. You know, the description says he's a follower of Hanuman, and you know, he's dedicated his life, but once you start the movie, it's not really about that. It's basically a guy finds this mute Pakistani girl and decides to take her back to Pakistan after a few events happen. Basically, his father-in-law doesn't want her in there because she's Muslim.
Well, not initially, but
not initially, but it's a bunch of little events.
It's a series of unfortunate events
that lead to him crossing into Pakistan illegally to get her back to her parents.
Legally, he got permission. It was legal.
Oh, because the guy said go ahead.
He said go ahead. He gave him permission,
right?
So it was legal.
But they were still hiding from.
But it was still illegal, and then it became a spy hunting.
He crossed
film.
the fence,
right?
Legally, but once he was in.
He was
without
there
a passport,
illegally.
he was there illegally.
Yes.
The long film, almost 3 hours. I personally could have got rid of at least half an hour.
Well, in China they did. In China, they just released it this year. They cut out.
Oh, did they?
Like 30 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, there was definitely some stuff that didn't really advance the story at all. But to be honest with you, about 30, 45 minutes in, I was like, this movie is terrible, and I was ready to quit it because it had like nothing going on. It was like, we see the little girl disappear, and then we go to, it's all Salman. And it's like every other Salman movie I've seen so far. It's just him talking about his life. Like him, oh, you know, I met this, I was an idiot, and my dad thought I failed, and I told him I passed, so he died.
I thought that was funny.
It was funny, but it had nothing to do with the story.
He was just 100% agree with you.
He was just sitting in the bus like, telling his life to people. Like, we didn't need his backstory. The movie was about the little girl. And
well, we do, but see, that's where you're wrong. Because it's his movie, so you need all that stuff. And we'll get into that. Trust me, I will get into that later because I was very displeased by the way the movie ended. But going off with that, you know, that joke was funny. That was a huge setup just for one punchline, which is that his dad died, to set up that he would end up where he was. But if the story's supposed to be about the little girl, I don't know why that exactly matters. So I hear you. I understand that completely.
I mean, also, I feel like it was also to show that he's
well,
not
what happened after those 30 minutes?
Not the smartest guy.
Well, yes, absolutely. He's failed school
once he
10
meets
times.
the girl, once he meets the little girl, that's when the movie really starts.
I know, but what changed it for you? Like, what was like, oh, okay, I'm on board with the journey. I might not be 100% happy with it,
Funny
but I'm
enough,
bored
of
with
all the things that got me on board, it was the chicken song at the restaurant.
Really?
That chicken song was like...
That's a huge minus for me.
Really?
It was so annoying.
Well, I'm going to tell you why. Because at that point, I stopped watching it as a serious adult movie, and I started looking at it as a kid's film. Even though some stuff happens afterwards that are not very kid friendly.
It's 110% a kid's movie.
But once I was like, you know what? If I look at this as a kid's movie, it's gonna be so much better.
If you're 12,
and
you
it
would be like,
and it felt like any like Disney adventure film,
right?
You know, and the song was okay. The song fit in. I was okay with the song. I thought cuckoo cuckoo, you know, they're singing that. It had no like, you know, obviously it's mystical, people breaking in the song and dance, but it was okay with me at that point because I changed.
You went with it.
Yeah, I went with that. I changed my mentality towards the film. You know, like they broke in the song in Sultan, and I was.
See, I
was not on board with them at all.
Had they not have shown the whole bit with the mom, I would have been on board with you 100%. But since they did, and then they completely just forgot about the mom for the whole movie, at no point, I mean, fuck it, we're just going to get into this because this is what really bothered me about the movie. The movie's been out for, what, 3 years now or plus? However many years it's been out now, people have seen it. So that's why they're watching our review to know exactly what we have to say about it. So let's just get into it. And I did not like the fact that you never once see the mom ever, ever. You see her at the beginning, she's sad, and it's the mom from Secret Superstar, so I like her. Yeah. I was like
and
excited.
She's still a great mom.
100%. I was excited.
Yeah, you never check up on her. You never see like what she's doing to try to find.
Is she trying to find her?
Did she give up?
And then they do show her at the very end when they go to this place together.
Yeah,
and then
the temple,
Salman notices her, which is so crazy.
I don't think he notices her.
He does. He sees her. He doesn't know it's her,
right?
But he sees her as she's like crying and stuff because he's like off in the distance, and there's a shot where like he can clearly see that's this person, and you know that sequence led into like Nawazuddin's character, who I loved, who's phenomenal.
He was awesome.
Phenomenal. He steals the show.
Yeah.
100%, in my opinion. He was the best performance in the entire film. But back to the mom. I'm getting off topic. Why forget about her? Why are you forgetting about the kid, too? Like, the kid's having a good time? What? In what sick, twisted fantasy does this fucking exist? Where a little kid who doesn't talk is going to be at home and happy with some random dude because she watched him dance in the street during some festival.
I mean, I feel like that has more to do with, like, by that point she was comfortable, she felt protected. You know, she still missed her mom because she still had her moments where she was crying and she was really sad.
Okay, but what about the mom then? Why?
I mean, no, I'm with you.
Why is it not her story? Is my question. Why is it his story?
Because
it's Salman fucking Khan. That's it. Let's not.
And they turned it into it's his film.
It's
He's
his
the star
film.
of the film, and that's the way they wanted to write it.
And that's fucking bullshit, man. Right. I think that's bullshit. I really think that's fucking ridiculous because it's her story. And then when we finally do get the reuniting,
what you're saying is you could have made a better. I'm not saying
that.
I'm saying, but a better movie that
exists
because
with this same exact content.
But if you focus just not even that much, just a little more energy on the mom.
It's a 3-hour fucking movie.
Right.
You could have time to spare to see what's the mom doing. Are the people are they moving on?
Out a song or two.
Are the people moving on? Or
they give up?
Exactly. Is her family saying like I don't know, she's never gonna come back? Little moments, man. That's all. Just little things. Why forget about this kid if you're gonna put so much emphasis in the beginning about it, and you just fucking completely forget about it for song and dance? It's fucking stupid. And then when they finally do reunite at the end, and then Salman he creates this big distraction in order for her to basically get there. And I was up until that point, I was with it. And then they chase him down a hill. He falls down and they shoot him, and then he falls into the river. Right? They shoot him and he stands still and he falls into the river. I'm like, oh man. The guy was so fucking devoted, he was willing to give his life, and he did. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And then the next thing you know, he's in some torture chamber, and it literally went straight, my name is Khan, where like, oh, we got the Indian spy, let's fucking torture. As opposed to him being dead, and you could have had the same exact fucking ending. The same exact, obviously you can't have the same exact ending, but you can have the same thematic ending. The mom.
Well, there was no bullet holes in him either. I feel like that was.
Well, I mean, it was really quick. I'm not gonna lie.
They glossed over, but they glossed over the shot.
When he was getting tortured, I was trying to figure out where he got shot, and apparently got shot in the arm, but I didn't see that. But I'm just saying, you could have easily had people figure out, like the people who were chasing him, figure out, oh my God, we killed it, because Nawazuddin still released the tape of this whole journey, and it swept the whole nation. So we're supposed to believe that this story is so powerful that it literally causes boatloads of people to come together over this stuff. That's how the movie ends. Imagine they killed that guy, and they found out that the government's killed that guy, and people are going to say, fuck, man, we need to come. We can't be killing people like this. They're good people out in the world, and they might be angry, but they might be happy. Well, the mom, you could have had the little girl whenever they have.
There's an issue with that though. If they kill him on the Pakistan side.
You have war. I understand.
And you made a completely anti-Pakistani film. As well.
Maybe.
Oh, definitely. Because the Indian government had nothing to do with what was happening.
This is a Batman ending. This is The Dark Knight Rises, and fucking Christopher Nolan didn't have the balls to kill Batman.
Well, but it was a superhero movie.
It was because it followed the same thing, but there was no reason for him to be alive.
It should have been called Salman Hulk, because anytime the little girl
Don't even get me started on that shit, because he wrestled.
Turned into the Incredible Hulk,
which is
and just started destroying
the
people.
first time you see that too. That scene was so ridiculous.
In the brothel, and it just never gets revisited.
He didn't kill. He just threw him into the electrical wires.
He snapped one guy's neck, and he threw another guy into electrical wires. And in most places,
that's attempted murder at the least.
If you're on the electrical wires, and we hear that he wasn't, for whatever reason, he wasn't shaking, but we hear that. You know, but
you see him moving when he walks out of the brothel at the end. That scene was dumb too. Don't even defend that fucking scene, because you show a close up of his biggest fucking tear. What did they put all the fucking drops in his eyes for that scene, so this one fucking fat tear can fall out? I mean, look, man. It sucks because there's so many moments that I did enjoy. I'm not even kidding. There was a lot of things. Like I said, like you already mentioned, the dad joke.
I think the trigger factor for you is so huge on this that I feel like at some point you needed to change your mindset, because
bro, these are the feelings I had towards the end when he was fighting. When the tear thing, I'm like, oh my God, that's dumb. But I wasn't angry at the movie.
Right.
I wasn't like, fuck, why is it doing this? Blah 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 blah.
I mean, there's very little.
I got angry.
There's very little explanation, because we never see him wrestle, but then he goes in and he starts.
Because he lived his dad was the coach or whatever, and he was friends with the coach, and he couldn't really wrestle that much because he was ticklish, but somehow he learned all the techniques so he could do it, which made no fucking sense. But
I need you to take a breath and relax. You're going on a tangent right now.
Yeah, man, that shit really fucking annoyed me. Because you know what else? Because
I've seen worse things so far. This, like, first, I need you to take back the My Name is Khan.
No.
This is not as bad as My Name is Khan.
It wasn't, but it went all fucking Why are they interrogating him?
Right. Well,
why does the story need that at that point?
He's a spy.
At that point, they reunited.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
And then the first time,
I feel like
when she talks, uncle,
honestly,
and then they don't embrace.
And then
he fucking throws her in the air. What is that? That's so stupid. They don't embrace. They finally oh my god, you reunited. Yes, it's let me fucking rocket ship you in the fucking air.
They wanted a really cool, like...
Yeah, exactly, an excuse for... Get the fuck out of here, man. Why? You've hugged her for the entire movie, but now at the end, you're not going to do that. Now at the end, you're just going to say...
I don't know, man.
Let's fucking throw her in the air. Literally, that's what happens. It was like... I
mean, I feel like they didn't need to reunite at the end either.
Me either.
Yeah, but that's another story in itself. Like, he already
crossed. Fuck, man. They should have killed him.
They weren't going to kill him, man.
I know, because he's Salman Khan. He can't fucking die. Because he has to be the god of the story. He has to be the greatest person.
Is he Bruce Willis? Is he Tom Cruise?
In what way?
Like,
he wants to be Tom Cruise. That's why Race 3 was so shitty, because they tried to do every single fucking Mission Impossible movie.
But what I'm saying is like, so he gets a script and he rewrites it to make him the focus.
I can't say. I don't know.
Or is it because
I think people are writing to him?
I think this is what the audience wants to see, so he plays to the audience.
Look, okay.
I'm just saying people are gonna let us know. If you,
no, they're gonna let me know. We're gonna be losing subscribers because of me.
If you watch a Salman Khan film, you're a big Salman fan, and he dies in the movie,
which he doesn't.
How upset are you gonna be? Honestly, you paid your money. You've been waiting until Friday to go and watch this, and then he dies in the movie. Like that's an aspect of it where we have to look at it that way. Like maybe I'm not saying he wants to, but maybe he does want to get a little more artistic, and he can't because if he does, people will lose their minds.
People reinvent themselves. All right, I'm going to get calm now because I really did enjoy for the most part, I'll give my rating right now so we can all understand where I'm at. It's about a 6, 6.5, depending on my mood. It's a solid 6 right now because based just how triggered I was. But for the most part, I was on board with it. I wish they showed more of the mom. If you show more of the mom, I'd be more inclined to not have any of these problems, even with the ending as it stands.
Right.
Because at least I get to know where she's at. Because the story should be about the child. It shouldn't be about this selfless guy. And if it is this selfless guy, you just kill the fly.
Oh, it's still alive. Not anymore.
We'll take a moment of silence for that fly.
No, they eat shit. I don't care about them.
If you show the mom a little bit, I can at least feel alleviated that the story is aware of all the components. Because right now, it's so focused on him that as a filmmaker, as a storyteller, I don't understand what the purpose of the film is. Is it about the themes, and we shouldn't care about? I'm asking this. Should it be more about? Because I talk about theme all the time.
It's a hero film.
Because the themes are about uniting Pakistan and India.
Yeah, there's part of that.
But if that's the focus,
but I feel like that.
Do you feel like that's the focus of the story?
No, I feel like it's in there, but it's a very minor focus of the story. I think the story is about this guy who's not that bright, but he's just got a really big heart.
So why would
go into the extremes?
Why do you think they showed the intro why not just have her be a random girl that he stumbles upon if it's about that?
Because it'd be way less epic if he just had to take her from one side of India to the other side of India.
Well, no, I'm saying if you don't know that she got lost in the train, like you don't start the movie with this whole scene when they're watching a cricket game in Pakistan, showing her become mute by rolling down the hill.
No, I think she was always
mute. She's with her dad, and then she runs off to go ahead of her, and then she falls down a hill.
I thought they had a voiceover, and they said that she didn't talk.
Since then, that's what triggered.
Because we never hear her talk on screen.
But regardless, you see all of this stuff to intro her character. Regardless, I'm not arguing like the specifics of why But I'm saying you see all that. You see her go through her mom, take her all the way out to this temple.
That comes down to
and then you get her lost. Why show 30 minutes or 20 minutes?
Why is she mute at all? I mean, I guess that.
In my opinion, why she's mute? Honest to God, she's mute for 2 reasons. One, so she can't say I'm from Pakistan.
Right.
That's the first one. And 2, so when you have the train scene, she can't yell, "Mom!" She can't yell anything. So she was forced to get
either anyway.
It might have. She might have been able to scream and woke somebody up, and then they would have went. Maybe it was on the border, so it's a maybe.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. In my opinion, those are the only two reasons why she was mute. There was no actual character reasons, nothing story-wise other than those two plot elements. But I'm just saying, why show any of that? Why not just have her? Why not start the movie with this exciting musical moment like that it does? Not that it does now, but that the first time we see Salman and he's like dancing and everything, and then he sees this. Why not start the movie right there? Why show the rest of it if you're never going to show the mom again?
I already said that the beginning of the movie was way too long and it had a bunch of extra stuff that wasn't necessary.
Well, no,
to
I'm
the
asking
film.
as a filmmaker
if
it's about Salman. Why show that?
I understand that, and I'm saying, and what I'm saying is, I think at some point they don't need necessarily to show that she was from Pakistan, but it helped a little bit to show. They could have done way less, condensed it way less. They could have even done the train.
It could have been a flashback.
It could have started with the train sequence. You know, they're on a train crossing between, and then
the mom says, "I'm taking my kid." She doesn't talk.
Yeah,
and that's it.
And then the train separates, and you know,
I'm just saying because
and it's also like she was showing there's parts. She's mischievous, a little girl. She runs off by herself, and they showed that at the beginning, so that you know that was a part of her character. We wouldn't have expected it. We would have learned it at the same time as Salman. I'm just saying, I'm giving you the reasons why they probably threw that in there. Because why did she leave her mom in the first place on the train?
To save a lamb.
Okay, but that's her thing. She's like, and she's impulsive. She's a little girl.
I understand. I know.
She
I
takes
get
off,
that. But
and
I
it's
would have got that as a little girl though. I get that.
And because she has a pet lamb at the beginning. She has a pet lamb back on the mountaintop, or whatever. Like that's.
I don't know.
That's how she gets mute in the first place, chasing after a lamb,
I just think that it's yeah, exactly. I just think that it's if the story's about Salman, there's a way to craft it to make it a better story about Salman.
I'm not disagreeing with that at all.
You don't need to.
At the same time, I feel like the errors for me were not egregious enough where I like.
For me, it's just the ending was the egregious part.
I mean, the ending
was
cheese. The ending was cheese. You know,
it was.
And like not even a thank you between the mom and
nothing.
They never have any sort of contact.
Thank you for
each
mentioning
other.
that, so I don't have to.
But at the same time, that ending where he's running behind her with the camera, it was great. It was a beautiful scene.
That was great. I'm not saying that wasn't bad. You know? That was great. But what?
And I'm with you. Like there's plenty of times
it took away from the focus and it went to his interrogation.
And I feel like there's just so many things.
Why do we even care about Salman at that point?
I just feel like there's rules. There are rules that were put in place for this film, and they had to adhere to the rules.
I know, it's unfortunate.
It could have been a better movie, for us anyways. These ideas could have made it a better, more complete film, where it wasn't just... Some of these movies, you could do a few little tweaks, and they will relate to everyone.
100%
the
agree.
entire world.
100%
and
agree.
And I feel like this is a common trope.
You can do the same exact movie with a Mexican and an American citizen. The same exact movie.
Yeah.
Especially with our political climate. I was thinking about this the whole time. Like, that would be an interesting movie. So it's not the story idea. It's not the concept.
No. I'm saying, and that's why my point is, like, this isn't the only film that we see stuff like this, where there's films that have good ideas and elements that could transcend, but because they want to stick to like the
formula,
just for for our base level Indian audience, no offense to, I'm not,
because it's Americans too. Yeah, it's the same reason why fucking Transformers movies.
Well, it's the same reason why Fast and the Furious movies exist.
Exactly. And those are movies for certain types of people. I acknowledge that. I respect that. But it's hard for me to not have a strong opinion. Like if I had the director here, I wouldn't yell at him for that. I'm yelling at you at that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If he were here, but I would ask him.
That's because you got no balls.
I would feel just as passionate, but I'm having a discussion with you. But I would ask him these same questions, and I could have a conversation with him about this stuff. So it's not about like, I might sound ignorant, but I'm coming from a good spot.
Well, my counter to all that is you knew what you were getting into.
I didn't. That's why it was so...
But give me some evidence of where you've seen other Salman Khan films that didn't have these ridiculous things in them.
100% agree with that. I can't counter that. But everyone was saying this is his best movie. Everybody. It's like unanimous. Even the Salman haters say that like you'll probably still enjoy this one, which I did. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, maybe it's because he dies or because like... Or something, something at the end. Or
maybe it's because it still had enough feel-good moments in it where...
Absolutely.
I thought he was quite charming in this film.
I agree. I agree. That's why I said there's parts that I enjoyed. I enjoyed the dad. I enjoyed, like, the relationship with the girl, like that Salman had with
Yeah.
the girl. I liked that the dad was like, oh, you want to marry my daughter? Go buy a house.
Right.
Because I was like, what does this guy do? He doesn't even make any money. So like that's a great incentive. Like that was a little cool moment. I enjoyed the girl watching the cricket game and then cheering for Pakistan and kissing the team. That was great. I thought it was hilarious. I mean, because I just, now that we really understand the cultural significance of like India versus Pakistan or just cricket, just even those two countries. I
Yeah.
mean, that's like, we think New York and the Red Sox are big. They're Yankees and Red Sox. Like that's two nations fighting each other over
Absolutely.
this shit. So like, but I mean, there's little moments like that were funny. Salman was good. It's just I keep coming back to like those last 30 minutes, man. It's hard for me to separate it because that's where the story culminates.
Yeah, I turned my brain off at a certain point and just went along for the ride and had a good time because I feel like that's what this movie is. And it's like I said, consider the source.
We didn't even talk about Siddiqui and how fucking good he is in it too. Like
I know he's great, but I mean, I feel like at this point we already know he's a scene stealer. Everything we've seen him in, like name something bad he was in that you've seen so far. I mean, maybe he wasn't that great in Black Friday because he was only in the movie for 15 seconds.
Right.
But other than that, I think he's an amazing actor, and I would love to see what he could do on an international stage. How they could use him. I don't even know what his English is.
I agree.
He's a great actor. Final thoughts. I had a good time with the movie, and I got past like I said, I wanted to shut the movie down within the first 30-45 minutes because I was just like, where is this going? This is just like this. It's following the same stupid tropes that we've seen in everything else, and then you hit a certain point where you're like, okay, I get what this movie is, and it's fun, and even it goes dark for a second when he like the travel agent or whatever sells her to a brothel. But
that was a serious moment. I was with you because I was like, oh
Yeah.
fuck, because she was saying no,
and it was unexpected as well. Like I did not think it was going that way, considering everything that happened beforehand. I like the father-in-law's relationship and how like adamant, like it was a commentary on how people are about the caste system and,
absolutely,
and whatever and whatnot.
I like the when he was
Funny
in
enough,
Pakistan.
the next movie we review has cast elements as well. But
I enjoyed the Pakistan stuff. There was that one song when they're in Pakistan that I liked when the guy was playing the instruments with all the other like people around.
Yeah.
Normally, I'm checked out by that
and
point.
then the temple.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I enjoyed that because that song like felt like it was happening.
Yes,
I mean, it was
exactly.
filmed. It was filmed clearly like a music video, but at least it felt like it was actually happening in the world.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there wasn't mystical things happening.
Exactly.
The guys were singing the songs and they stayed in the same place. And then
so I enjoyed that. I enjoyed, like I already mentioned, the guards of him like going in the tunnels, which was clearly probably not how it's really done because that was way too simplistic.
Boo Ali.
Yeah. But look, that was funny.
Snitching.
He's totally snitching. Someone's a super snitch.
Yeah, I mean that like little character quirks as well. He's like so honest to a point where he like
he lies at one point at the very end,
and everyone's telling him like stop.
Which I enjoyed. These are again. That's why I'm saying.
But let's just
I harped on the ending so much. So that's my final thoughts.
You gave it a 6.5. I give it a solid 7. It's not my favorite movie, but
it's his best movie.
It's definitely the best one.
It's his best movie,
and he saved himself. I will watch another movie after this one. Like I said, if this movie was terrible, I'm done.
I think you're starting to get.
I'm keeping up with this one. This one kept me in by a thread. But anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for us. Thanks for watching. The drill. Smash that like button. Leave comments. Let us know what you think.
Don't forget to tell me why I'm wrong in the comments.
Don't forget to tell Daniel why he's wrong. And make sure to watch Reaction Hour episode 9 tomorrow. And got something special for you guys coming during the week.